are the source of everything. For you are like a desire tree.
Hare Krishna. Text 16. Prajapatiste vachashatishatanna loko kilayang kamahotu dhonubadha aham chaloka nugato bahami baling cha shukla niyamasha bhutubham.
O my Lord, you are the master and leader of all living entities. Under your direction, all conditioned souls, as if bound by rope, are constantly engaged in satisfying their desires. Following them, O embodiment of religion, I also bear oblations for you, who are eternal time.
Text 17. Lokang shloka nigatang pushangsya hitashitaste charanat patram parashparam tad gunabadushidu piyushani cha pito deha dharmaha.
However, persons who have given up stereotyped worldly affairs and the beastly followers of these affairs, and who have taken shelter of the umbrella of your lotus feet by drinking the intoxicating nectar of your qualities and activities in discussions with one another, can be freed from the primary necessities of the material body.
Text 18. Nate jaraksha bhrumabhayureshang त्रयोदशारं श्रिततं षष्टिपर्व जन्मे मनन्तच्छति चतति नाभि करालस्रोतो जगदच्चिधावत्.
Your wheel, which has three naves, rotates around the axis of the imperishable Brahman. It has 13 spokes, 360 joints, 6 rims, and numberless leaves carved upon it. Though its revolution cuts short the lifespan of the entire creation, this wheel of tremendous velocity cannot touch the lifespan of the devotees of the Lord.
19. एकशयङ्गाच गतवीक्षिकृष्काय द्वितीयात्मनोधियोगमायाया सृजशदपाशि पुनः कृषिष्यसे जठर्नभिभो भगवान् शशिपे शशिक्तिभिः.
My dear Lord, you alone create the universes. O personality of Godhead, desiring to create these universes, you create them, maintain them, and again wind them up by your own energies, which are under the control of your second energy, called Yogamaya. Just as a spider creates a cobweb by its own energy and again winds it up.
X20. Nataidatisha badanta vispitam janmayatnastu nushibhuta shuksham anugrayastopi jayi mayaya lasha tulasha bhagavan vilashtita.
My dear Lord, although it is not your desire, you manifest this creation of gross and subtle elements just for our sensual satisfaction. Let your causeless mercy be upon us, for you have appeared before us in your eternal form, adorned with a splendid wreath of tulsi leaves.
X21. Tang tanubhuta parata priyartham shamayaya vartita lokatantram namam abhiksham namaniya pada sharajamalli yashi kamabarsham.
I continuously offer my respectful obeisances under your lotus feet, of which it is worthy to take shelter, because you shower all benedictions on the insignificant. To give all living entities detachment from fruitive activity by realizing you, you have expanded these material worlds by your own energy.
X22. Rishruvacha ito balikang pranahastu nabha स्तमावभाषे वचसा मृतेन सुपर्णपक्षपरिरोचमानः प्रेम सती तीक्ष्णपि बिभ्रमद्भुः।
Maitreya resumed, sincerely extolled in these words, Lord Vishnu, shining very beautifully on the shoulders of Garuda, replied with words as sweet as nectar. His eyebrows moved gracefully as he looked at the sage with a smile full of affection.
Text 23. Sri Bhagavan Vidita tava chaitang me puraiva shramajitatat jathatmani niyasta vaiva stavaiva hang shramachitaha.
The Supreme Lord said, having come to know what was in your mind, I have already arranged for that, for which you have worshipped me, well through your mental and sensory discipline.
Text 24. Nataiva jatu mrishabashat prajataks shamadarpanam bhavidasheshu titarang mai shangrita bhanatmanam.
God continued, my dear Rishi, O leader of the living entities, for those who serve me in devotion by worshipping me, especially persons like you who have given up everything unto me, there is never any question of frustration.
Text 25. Prajapati Shuta Shambratun Katmangalah Brahma Vartang Jodishan Shasti Shaptanabang Mahim.
The Emperor Swayambhuva Manu, the son of Lord Brahma, who is well known for his righteous acts, has his seat in Brahmavarta and rules over the earth with its 7 oceans.
Text 26. Shechahopi Prarajarshi Mahisha Shaturupaya Ayashoti Ditshastang Parasha Dharma Kovidaha.
The day after tomorrow, O Brahmana, that celebrated emperor who is expert in religious activities will come here with his queen, Shatarupa, wishing to see you.
27. Atmoja Mashipa Panging Bayoshila Gunanitam Migayantring Puting Dasha Tanurupayate Prabha.
He has a grown up daughter whose eyes are black. She is ready for marriage and she has good character and all good qualities. She is also searching for a good husband. My dear sir, her parents will come to see you, who are exactly suitable for her, just to deliver their daughter as your wife.
Text 28. Shamahi Vidaya Remang Tarang Shatang Brahmo Nipobodhu Kama Mashi Bhajishati.
That princess, O holy sage, will be just the type you have been thinking of in your heart for all these long years. She will soon be yours and will serve you to your heart's content.
Hare Krishna. Please accept my apology, any mistake I made. Thank you so much for allowing me to recite.
Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Palika Mataji and Purvasha Mataji. Very beautiful and divine recitations. Thank you so much. Okay, so thank you so much, dear devotees, for kindly joining this evening to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, before we start, we shall offer our prayers to the Gurus, Vaishnavas, Krishna, Radha, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, so for all our worshipable deities. Oh. अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांशं श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांशाम्। हे कृष्ण करुणसिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तु ते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौरङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिविकासस्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वतीदेवे गौरवाणि प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। शृणुतां स्वकथाः कृष्णः पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनः हृद्यन्तस्त्वय्य भद्राणि विधुनोति सुहृसतां नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवति उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकीम्। एते चांशकलाः पुंसः कृष्णस्तु भगवान् स्वयम् इन्द्रारिव्याकुलं लोकं मृडयन्ति युगे युगे। इदं भागवतं नाम पुराणं ब्रह्मसंहितम् उत्तमश्लोकचरितं चकार भगवान् ऋषिः निःश्रेयसाय लोकधन्यं स्वस्तये नमः। कृष्णे सुदामोपगते धर्मज्ञानादिभिः सह खलु न सदृशामेषा पुराणार्कोऽधिनोदितः। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमः पङ्कजनाभाय नमः पङ्कजमालिने नमः पङ्कजनेत्राय नमस्ते पङ्कजाङ्ग्रये। अति विश्वेश विश्वात्मन् विश्वमूर्तिस्वकेषु मे स्नेहपाशम् इमं चिन्त्य दृढं पाण्डुषु विष्णुषु त्वयि मेनन्यविषया मतिर्मदपति असकृत् प्रतिमुद्वाहदद्धा गङ्गेव भूदन्वति। श्रीकृष्ण कृष्ण सख विष्णुर्षभावनिधृक् राजन्यवंशदहनानपवर्गवीर्य गोविन्द गोद्विजसुरात्यहरावतार योगेश्वर किल गुरो भगवन् नमस्ते। योगेश्वर किल गुरो भगवन् नमस्ते। योगेश्वर किल गुरो भगवन् नमस्ते। त्वलयामलवेनापि न स्वर्गं न पुनर्भवं भगवत्सङ्गसङ्गस्य मत्यानं किमुतशिषः पुनश्च भूयाद् भगवत्यनन्ते रतिः प्रसङ्गश तदाश्रयेषु महस्त्वयां यामुप्यां सृष्टिं मैत्रस्तु सर्वत्र नमो द्विजेभ्यः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनामिने गौरत्विषे नमः। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं। श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यमीश्वरं श्रीचैतन्यप्रभुं वन्दे बालोऽपि यदनुग्रहात् तरेनानमतग्राह व्याप्तं सिद्धान्तसागरं। श्रीचैतन्यप्रभुं वन्दे यत्पादासर्यविरितः सङ्गृह्णात्याकरव्रातात् अज्ञः सिद्धान्तसन्मनीम्। ॐ नमो भगवते राधा गोविन्दाय नमः। हरे कृष्ण। Okay, thank you so much for kindly waiting. Okay, shall share my screen. Okay, so we are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, chapter 21. So it is the conversations between Kadma Prajapati and Swayambhuman. So in this chapter, so Kadma Prajapati, he meditates on the Supreme Personality of Godhead to get a wife. So he was instructed by his father, and then in order to expand the progeny, so he went on meditations later on. So here, Maitreya Muni speaking to Vidura, so about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, when Vidura inquired about the Swayambhumanu and his three daughters and two sons, at that time he also mentioned first is the Devhuti and Kadma Prajapati, how the progeny got expanded. So there, Maitreya Muni started speaking. तावत् प्रसन्नो भगवान् पुष्कराक्षः कृते युगे दर्शयामस तं चत्तः शाब्दं ब्रह्म ददद्वपुः. So after meditating, his tatah samadhi yuktena kriya yogena kaddamah. So after he engaged in the meditation, so the Lord has appeared in to the Kaddama Prajapati on Garuda. So the Lord is known to be only through the sound vibrations. Bhagavan Shabda Gocharaha, Shabdam Brahma Dadadvapuhu. But here, personally, he has appeared with his form. So it is like a, so Kadma Prajapati is meditating here. The Lord has appeared in his form. Vapuhu. Vapuhu is the his transcendental body. So and he see, and here Maitreya Muni is describing his beautiful form, how the form is like, just showing on the form. So a little bit big picture here. Satam virja markabam sita padmotplasrajam snigdha neelalakavrata vaktra abjam virajom bharam. So he has got all the lotus flower in his hands here. And also Satam virja markabam sita padma utpalashrajam snigdha neelalakavrata vaktra abjam virajom bharam. His beautiful face and किरीटिनं कुण्डलिनं शङ्खचक्रगदाधरं श्वेतोत्पलकिरीटनकं मनस्पर्शस्मितेक्षणं. The form it is touching the heart. Manasparsam smitekshanam. Lord is smiling very beautifully. And Shweta Utpala Kridanakam, he is playing with that with one hand, the lotus flower. And the Lord is situated on the Garuda. Vinyascharanam bhojam amshadehe garutmataha दृष्ट्वा कि अवस्थितं वक्षस्त्रियं कौस्तुभकन्धरम्. So the Lord is on top of Garuda and then keeping his both strong thighs on Garuda, sitting there very strongly. And then drishtva ki avasthitam bhakshastriyam kaustubhakandharam. The Lord is having very beautiful jewelries, kaustubhakandharam. So in such a way, Kadma Prajapati, as soon as he sees, so he is with so much of love and affection, naturally sprouting from the heart towards the Lord. जातहर्षो अप्तद्मुग्धः चितो लब्धः मनोरथः गीर्भितो अभ्युगात् गुणाप्रीति स्वभावात्मकृताञ्जलिः. जातहर्षो अप्तद्मुग्धः. So naturally he is very happy by seeing the Lord. Aptatmudna, he fall down on the floor by doing dandavat pranam straight away as soon as he sees the Lord. Chito labdha manoradha. Chito labdha, he fall on the floor just like that, dandavat pranam. Chito labdha manoradha, which is fulfilling all of his manoradha, all the desires of his heart. And then Girbithu Abhigat Gunapiti Subhavatma Krutanjali. He started glorifying the Lord with all his heart content. Subhavatma. It is Subhavatma is the naturally inclined towards the devotional service. Krutanjali. He keeping his hands folded and then offering his prayers. So there he started his prayers like Justam Batadhya Kela Satvaraşehe Samsignam Akšnostava Darshananaham Yed Darshanam Janma Birij Sadbihi Asasate Yogino Roda Yogaham. Oh my dear Lord, you have appeared to me. So it is very difficult for everyone to get your darshana. So today I have got this darshana. I have achieved all of my perfection of human life. And then starting like that, justum bhatat jakel satvarashehe, glorifying the Lord in beautifully. And then many people, my dear Lord, they worship you for the sake of fulfilling their material desires. They are just like a for the Kamalavayatesham. But oh my dear Lord, you would fulfill so much greater desires, but they are asking for very tiny things. Ye mahiyate hatamedasaspat padarabindam bhausindupotam upasate kamalavayatesham rashisha kama niryepiyesyuhu. So he is many people they come to Padhara Vinda Bhavasindu Potam. You would cross the material essence very easily, but they do not ask for that. But Upasati Kama Lavaitesham just only ask for the material desires. Oh my dear Lord, I want this job and family, this one, that trouble, this troubles like that. Likewise, they have so many pile of hill of desires. Rashisha Kaman Niryepiyesu Rasisha Kaman. They're near APS, they're just like a put them into material entanglement, all these material desires. Comparing the to the material people and saying to Kadma Prajati about why he is doing meditation here for the Lord. Oh, my dear Lord, I am also doing the similar kind of meditation just to get benediction from you. And I wanted a wife which is having equal qualities as much as me. Yatha Selam Yatha Ruchihi. Just as much suitable to my taste and desires to fulfill my devotional service. My wife should not deviate me from the devotional path. In such a way, tata sachaham parivodukamaha samanaseelam gruhamedadhenum upevan moolam ashesha moolam durasayah kama dugangripasya. So here, Kadma Prajapati is mentioning his desire is a Durasaya. I am too much desiring. So in such a way, he is comparing himself as a Durasaya Kaman. So I also came here to ask a benediction to get married. Parivodu Kamaha, just to get married. Samana Seelam Gruhameda Denum, with equal qualities wife suitable to me so that I can carry out my family responsibilities. Gruhameda Denum. Upeivan Moolam, Ashesha Moolam. I have come to the root of the person who can fulfill all kinds of desires. Upeivan Moolam is the root. Ashesha Moolam, who can fulfill his root for many other things. Ashesha Moolam, Durasaya Kama, Dugangripasya. Likewise, Kadma Prajapati after offering his prayers. So today we are continuing from the 16th shloka. After that, what else? Kadma Prajapati offering his prayers. Okay, this is a simple recap. Okay, so shloka number 16. प्रजापतिस्ते वचसादीशतञ्च लोकः किलायं कामहतोऽनुबद्धहम् अहं च लोकानुगतो गतो वहामि बलिं च शुक्ल अनिमिषाय तुभ्यम् प्रजापतिस्ते वचस adishatantya. So Prajapate, who are the master of all living entities, they of you, Vachasa under the direction, Adishatantya, O my Lord, O my Lord, and Tantya, and it is Tantya is the rope. Lokan Kilayam Kam Hatonu Baddaha. I am executing here the instructions of my father. My father is Brahma. Brahma is executing your instruction. You have asked Brahma to create progeny, and Brahma is carrying out that instruction, and I am following the instruction of my father. So now in this material world, everyone are tied up by the so many desires. This is Tantya, is the rope. Lokaha kilayam kama hato anubaddaha. Kama hato anubaddaha. So they are lokaha kilayam, lokaha in the conditioned souls, kila indeed, I am this, kama hataha, conquered by the lusty desires. They are under the clutches of lusty desires. Anubaddaha, they are bound by that. Lokaha kilayam kama hatono baddaha, hato anubaddaha. Aham cha loka anugato vahami. Oh my dear Lord, I also came to you with a similar kind of reason. Aham cha loka anugato vahami. Aham cha also loka anugataha, following the conditioned souls. I am also following the conditioned souls. Vahami, and offering balim cha sukla animishayitubhyam. And he says that balim cha sukla and oblations, I also offer oblations to you. Tubhyam is to you here. And then sukla is the embodiment of religion. Animishaya, existing as eternal time. Likewise, Kaddama Prajapati is offering another shloka as a prayer. Prajapatiste vachasa adishitancha lokah kilayan kama hato anubaddaha aham cha loka anugat aham cha lokanugato vahami balincha sukla animishayitubhyam. So translation, O my Lord, you are the master and leader of all living entities. Under your direction, all conditioned souls, as if bound by a rope, are constantly engaged in satisfying their desires. Following them, O embodiment of religion, I also bear oblations for you who are eternal time. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So in the Katha Upanishad, it is stated that the Supreme Lord is the leader of all living entities. He is their sustainer and awarder of all their necessities and desires. No living entity is independent. All are dependent on the mercy of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, the Vedic instruction is that one should enjoy life under the direction of the Supreme Leader, the personality of Godhead. Vedic literatures like Ishopanishad direct that since everything belongs to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one should not encroach upon another's property, but should enjoy one's individual allotment. The best program for every living entity is to take direction from the Supreme Lord and enjoy material or spiritual life. A question may be raised. Since Kadma Muni was advanced in spiritual life, why then did he not ask the Lord for liberation? Why did he want to enjoy material life in spite of his personally seeing and experiencing the Supreme Lord? The answer is that not everyone is competent to be liberated from material bondage. It is therefore everyone's duty to enjoy according to his present position. But under the direction of the Lord or the Vedas are considered to be the direct words of the Lord. The Lord gives us the opportunity to enjoy material life as we want, and at the same time, He gives directions for the modes and uh, processes of abiding by the Vedas so that gradually one may be elevated to liberation from material bondage. The conditioned souls who have come to the material world to fulfill their desires, to lord it over the material nature, are bound by the laws of nature. The best course is to abide by the Vedic rules. That will help one to be gradually elevated to liberation. Kaddamamuni addresses the Lord as Sukla, which means the leader of religion. One who is pious should follow the rules of religion, for such rules are prescribed by the Lord Himself. No one can manufacture or concoct a religion. Religion refers to the injunctions or laws of the Lord. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that religion means to surrender unto Him. Therefore, one should follow the Vedic regulations and surrender unto the Supreme Lord, because that is the ultimate goal of perfection in human life. One should live a life of piety, follow the religious rules and regulations. Many marry and live peacefully for elevation to the higher status of spiritual realization. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So here in this purport, Srila Prabhupada is describing the Lord is the leader of all the living entities. He is the sustainer. He is the Gatir Bhatta Prabhu Sakshi Nivasaha Saranam Suhrud. He is everything. So he is the Gatir Bhatta Prabhu. Bhatta is the one who is maintainer. Gatir Bhatta Prabhu Sakshi. So Nivasa Suhrut Saranam. So this is all, everything belongs to the whatever we think, whatever the verb we speak in this material world. So it should be if you are the so the Lord creates, Lord maintains, Lord destroys, but he does through Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara. So these three deities, they are all the Lord, but here Lord, he takes the form of the Vishnu Rupa. Krishna takes the form of Vishnu to maintain. सृजामि तन्नियुक्तोऽहं हरो हरिः तद्वशः विश्वं पुरुषरूपेण परिपाति त्रिशक्तिधृक्. He takes the form of Purusha and he maintains, keeping Brahma and Shiva in his control. So that is how he maintains. So Aham Brahma ch sarvasha jagatah karanam param Atmeshwar upadrashta swayam drug avisheshanah. And he says to once Daksha Prajapati that, oh Daksha Prajapati, Brahma and Shiva, there Aham Brahma cha sarvasha, me myself, Brahma and Shiva, Jagatah Karanam Param, we are here to maintain this universe. Atmeshwar upadrashta swayam drug avesheshanah. But myself, Atmadrashta Atmeshwar upadrashta. So I am the super soul and the seer. Swayam drug avesheshanah. So Lord says about himself, but I am the Swarat complete. So likewise, the Lord, he comes as Vishnu as well. Sometimes we may think that Vishnu has taken different incarnations, but in terms of when it comes to Krishna, but Krishna is the supreme personal. He is source of all the other incarnations. Okay, so further, no living entity is independent. All are dependent on the mercy of the Supreme Lord. They need some help. Without the mercy of the Lord, everyone, they are lifeless. So that's why he accompanies the Lord in the heart of all the living entities. In the heart of all the living entities. Yeah, this is again Ishwarah sarvabhutanam hruddeshe jhunatistati Brahmayan sarvabhutani Yantra Rodhani Maya. Because of his presence, we are also staying in this body. If the Lord leaves, then we do not have any place to live. So that's why first he will ask us to leave when we are leaving the material body also. First we will as soon as Lord leaves, we cannot stay. So for example, in the Kurukshetra battle, when once the battle is almost completed, then Krishna and Arjuna are in the chariot first. Krishna asks Arjuna, Arjuna, you get down the chariot first. Okay, and then as first initially Arjuna was hesitating, but later on he follows the instruction, and then later on, as soon as Krishna got down from the chariot got burnt to the ashes. Arjuna was surprised and asked, what is the reason? It was already burnt. Because of my presence, it is still there. So there are further conversations. So no living entity is independent. Everyone are dependent on the mercy of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, the Vedic instruction is that one should enjoy life under the direction of the Supreme Leader, the personality of Godhead. So these instructions come from the Vedas, from Bhagavad Gita, from the Shastras. The Lord spoke those words there. We have to take those words, otherwise we would fail in every endeavor. Dharmam sakshat bhagat pranitam. One has to follow the instructions of the Lord, which are spoken by the Lord directly. So we cannot assume anything that this is right, this is not right. We cannot take that one. Our material brain, it will always tend to the fall into the illusion, make mistake, tend to cheat, and then illusion, fall into the illusion, imperfect senses. Because of these four defects, he cannot understand what is right, what is not right. लोको विकर्म निरतः कुशले प्रमत्तः कर्मण्यें त्वदुदिते भवदच्चने स्वे यस्तावदस्य बलवानिह जीविताशं सद्यः चिनत्ति अनिमिषाय नमोस्तु तस्मै. If one does not take the instructions of the Lord, then everyone's plans and their endeavors would fail into sadhya chinati. They cut to the pieces. All of their plans will be cut to the pieces. What does Lord spoke? Whatever Lord spoke, it is in the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so that's why one has to take it. This is Bharatamritam Sarvasvam Vishnu Vaktrat Vinishritam Gita Gangotakam Pitva Punarjanmana Vidyate. In the Gita, beginning of Gita Mahatmya, Shankaracharya's statement, so Prabhupada has kept in the introduction. And then here, Vedic literatures like Ishopanishad direct that since everything belongs to the Lord, to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one should not encroach upon another's property, but one should enjoy one's individual allotment. This is one's individual allotment. The best program for every living entity is to take direction from the Supreme Lord and enjoy material or spiritual life, both. This is where Varnashrama Dharma come into the picture. So Kapila Bhagavan describes the levels of the living entities. So moving conscious or non, first of all, with life, without life, conscious without consciousness, and then later on with senses, little bit of senses, one sense after, and then finally coming to the two-legged animals, and then later on out of two-legged animals are the Varnashrama Dharma people. Tato Varnaschattvaraha Brahmaneshu Uttamaha. Brahmaneshu api Vedajnu. So this is gradually going Brahmanas and who knows the Vedas, who can I explain Vedas to the others, and then who follow the Vedic injunctions, who has renounced the fruits of his actions, who has surrendered himself onto the Supreme Personality of God. That is the levels of this, but that is starting from the Varnashrama Dharma, who are following the Vedic injunctions. So this is where human life is. Take the directions from the Supreme Lord. Okay, so and then it gradually it will also fulfill the desires of material desires of the living entity and the human society, and at the same time bringing them to the spiritual life gradually. So here a question may be raised here, since the Kardama Muni was advanced in spiritual life, why then did he not ask Lord for liberation? Because everyone has got some desires, otherwise they would not have taken birth here, including Lord Brahma, he himself. Because they have taken birth here, the materially embodied people, so they have to carry out their duties. So here, in the beginning, Brahma instructs Kardama Prajapati to carry out expanding the progeny. So he says later on, Tvayami apachititataha kalpita nirvilekataha yenme sanjugrihe vakyam bhavan manada manayan. Oh my dear child Kadma, you have executed your duty perfectly without any hesitation. I like you so much. Likewise, Brahma appreciates Kadma Prajapati. So he is carrying his instruction of his father. His father is doing as Garbhodak Sai Vishnu told him to expand to create the universe, secondary creation. So that is behind reasons, but here Prabhupada is further saying, why did he want to enjoy material life in spite of his personally seeing and experiencing the Supreme Lord? The answer is that not everyone is competent to be liberated from the material bondage. So this is not everyone. Everyone who is materially bodied, they're all entangled. Otherwise, if they are not entangled, they wouldn't have taken birth here. They have got some desire, somewhere or other. So it is therefore everyone's duty to enjoy according to his present position, but under the direction of the Lord or the Vedas. So the Vedas are considered to be the direct words of the Lord, and the Lord gives us the opportunity to enjoy material life as we want, and at the same time he gives directions for the modes and process of abiding by the Vedas, so that gradually one may be elevated to the liberation from material bondage. Okay, all the steps are here in the Bhagavad Gita and also Bhagavatam and the Vedic injunctions, all Upanishads, so many Puranas are there. So we need to follow those instructions. It is so pleasing. They will fulfill all the Purusharthas as well. So the conditioned souls who have come to the material world to fulfill their desires to lord it over material nature are bound by the laws of nature. If you have got a material desire, any material, they are prakrityanita swaya. They are conditioned by the material nature. Kamaistaister hridjnanaha prapadhyantya anya devataha tam tam nimam astaya prakrityanita swaya. They will be kamaihi. Kamai starts from the desire and then prakrityanita swaya, conditioned by the nature. They cannot escape. Daivi Esha Gunamayi Mama Maya Dhrichaya. It is very difficult. So the best course is to abide by the Vedic rules. That will help one to be gradually elevated to the liberation. And here again, Prabhupada is describing Lord is mentioned as Sukla. So here it should be Shukla here. That is in the shloka here. Balint Sukla Animishayatubhyam. So Sukla means the leader of the religion. One who is pious should follow the rules of religion. For such rules are prescribed by the Lord Himself only. This is Dharmam Sakshat Bhagavad Pranitam. The Dharma should be spoken by the Lord He Himself. He would set out the rules, not by anyone. No one can manufacture or concoct a religion. Religion refers to the injunctions or laws of the Lord. Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that religion means Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mam Ekam Saranam Raja Aham Tvam Sarva Papibhyo Mokshishyami Ma Suchaham. Mam Ekam Saranam Raja. Surrender unto me only, not anyone else. That Krishna directly says, it is his instruction. Okay, therefore one should follow the Vedic regulations and surrender unto the Supreme Lord, because that is the ultimate goal of perfection in human life. If I say, "Oh, I still have some time, I will surrender later on when I become old." When you become old, your senses does not work, your intelligence does not work, your hands and legs does not move. Vachyamanopi na brute, na brute, kalapasha vasham gataha. If you wanted to chant Hare Krishna, you can't chant. Vachyamanopi na brute. So here, Kapil Bhagavan, when you are on the lion, when you fall on the bed and the deathbed, and it is almost about to leave the bed, all family members, they are surrounding. Even we wanted to say so many things. Vachyamanopina bhrute, you cannot speak. Kala pashu vashim gataha. So one must use their energy, time, and everything in the service of the Lord. They have to practice from the childhood. Then he would do it at the end of his life. That is the ultimate goal. So that's why Tasma Sarveshu Karyeshu Mam Manusmariji Maya Pita Manobuddhi Mam Ye Vaishisi Asamsayaha. One has to remember the Lord in all times and circumstances. One should live a life of piety, follow the religious rules and regulations, marry and live peacefully for elevation to the higher status of spiritual realization. Okay, one should be a model, lead by example. So Prabhupada always says, so my Guru Maharaj, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami, used to make sannyasis from the grahasthas, but I am taking, uh, uh, I am getting the bachelor people into this Grihastha Sharma and trying to preach. My Guru Maharaj make the sannyasis and preach. My strategy is different. Just make them into Grihasthas first and then make them to preach. The couples would preach as a lead by example. It would be very easy. Sannyasis means it is very challenging. Sometimes based on our habits in the past, they may overcome us in the later. So it is very difficult. So one has to gradually go, not immediately taking the sannyasi and then fall down from the top to bottom. That is Aruhya Kurchen Param Padam Tataha Padantyadaha Anadruta Yushmadangrayaha. So it is even after performing so many austerities, falling down means it is not good. But still one should consider him as a sadhu only, because sometimes a falls may down because he is surrendered soul. Apiche sudhracharo bhajite mam ananya bhak sadhureva samantavyaha samyak vyavhito hi saha. One has to treat him as a sadhu only. We should not criticize because of his falling down. Okay, so but here Grahastha Dharma is the very best one for everyone. It is easily and practical, and executing devotional service also very nice. Okay, that is that shloka and purport. So that is Prajapatistya Vachisa Adishtancha Lokaha Kilayam Kama Hatona Baddaha Aham cha Lokan Gato Vahami Balim Sukla Animishai Tubhyam. So move on to the next shloka. So here Kadma Prajapati mentioning that, oh my dear Lord, in this material world, everyone have got entangled to their so much of work, hard work. Until they come to your lotus feet, they would not be freed themselves. They will always keep working and working like that. Okay, and then, but whoever comes here, they would speak your Krishna Katha each other. And then they drink the nectar of Krishna Katha, and then they forget all kinds of miseries of their material life. Likewise, he is praying here in the 17th shloka. Lokamsha lokan gatan pasumsha hitva sitaste charanata patram parasparam tvad gunavada sidu piyushi niryapita deha dharmaham. Lokamsha Lokan, Lokamsha Lokan, the worldly affairs, Cha Lok Anugatan, the followers of the worldly affairs, Pasun, beastly, Pasun Cha, beastly, Hitva Sitaste Charanata Patram, until they come to the shelter of your lotus feet. Charanata Patram, Atapatram is the umbrella. Charanata Patram, lotus feet, as a shelter. Shritaha, taken shelter. They have to keep working in the struggle of these material things until they come to your lotus feet. If they don't, they will keep carrying and working hard. Divacha Dhyayaraj Kutumba Bharanenava. This is Vyadha Karma Bihi. So much of useless for the spirit soul. They do not nourish the soul. Okay, so and then what happens once they come to the lotus feet? Parasparam tad gunavada sidhu. Parasparam tad gunavada sidhu. They discuss your pastimes. They are sidhu is intoxicating. All your pastimes are intoxicating. Parasparam tad gunavada sidhu. One another with one another. And they discuss your qualities by discussion. Gunavada Sidhu, Piyusha Niryapita Deha Dharmaha. Piyusha is the nectar. Niryapita Deha Dharmaha. When they are drinking this nectar of Krishna Katha, Niryapita Deha Dharmaha. What is the Deha Dharma? Janma Mrityu Jara Vyati. Always going through some kind of mental disturbance, bodily pains, Adi Bhautik, Adi Dhaivik, Adi Adhyatmik, different kinds of miseries. Always one is tormented. No one would say that I am free from all problems. So here, all such kind of problems are niryapita, extinguished. Just by what? Discussing the Krishna Katha. Deha dharma is the primary necessities of the body. Body needs some food and some sleep and some rest. Like there are needs of the body. One has to fulfill the needs of the body. But these needs can be automatically extinguished automatically when we are discussing Krishna Katha. Okay, likewise, so beautifully, Kadama Prajapati is praying to the Lord. Lokam Shalok, he wanted to get a equal the wife, so good wife from the Lord. So Lokam Shalokan Gatan Pashum Shahitva Sitaste Charanata Patram Parasparam Tvad Gunavada Sidhu Piyoshi Nijapita Deha Dharmaham. A translation here, however, persons who have given up stereotyped worldly affairs and beastly followers of these affairs, and who have taken shelter of the umbrella of your lotus feet by drinking the intoxicating nectar of your qualities and activities in discussion with one another, can be freed from the primary necessities of the material body. Okay, purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. After describing the necessity of married life, Kadama Muni asserts that marriage and the social affairs are stereotyped regulations for persons who are addicted to material sense enjoyment. The principle of animal life, eating, sleeping, mating, and defending, are actually necessities of the body, but those who engage in the transcendental Krishna consciousness, giving up all the stereotyped activities of this material world, are freed from social conventions. Conditioned souls are under the spell of material energy or eternal time, past, present, and future. But as soon as one engages in Krishna consciousness, he transcends the limits of past and present and becomes situated in the eternal activities of the soul. One has to act in terms of the Vedic injunctions in order to enjoy the material life. But those who have taken to the devotional service of the Lord are not afraid of the regulations of this material world. Such devotees do not care for the conventions of material activities. They boldly take to that shelter which is like an umbrella against the sun of repeated birth and death. Constant transmigration of the soul from one body to another is the cause of suffering in material existence. This conditional life in material existence is called samsara. One may perform good work and take his birth in a very nice material condition, but the process under which birth and death take place is like a terrible fire. Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura, in his prayer to the spiritual master, has described this. Samsara or this is Samsara Davanal Nalalida Loka. So that one. Samsara, the repetition of birth and death, is compared to a forest fire. A forest fire takes place automatically without anyone's endeavor by the friction of dried wood, and no fire department or sympathetic person can extinguish it. The raging forest fire can be extinguished only when there is a constant downpour of water from a cloud. The cloud is compared to the mercy of the spiritual master. By the grace of the spiritual master, the cloud of the mercy of the personality of Godhead is brought in, and then only when the rains of Krishna consciousness fall can the fire of material existence be extinguished. This is also explained here. In order to find freedom from stereotyped conditional life of material existence, one has to take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, not in the manner in which the impersonalists indulge, but in devotional service, chanting and hearing of the activities of the Lord. Only then can one be freed from the actions and reactions of material existence. It is recommended here that one should give up the conditional life of this material world and the association of so-called civilized human beings who are simply following in a polished way the same stereotyped principles of eating, sleeping, defending, and mating. Chanting and hearing of the glories of the Lord is described here as Twadgunavada Sidu. Only by drinking the nectar of chanting and hearing the pastimes of the Lord can one forget the intoxication of material existence. Okay, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So here in this purport, Prabhupada is describing again the married life. So here, Kadma Muni, he wanted to expand his progeny. He begets 9 daughters. 9 daughters are given to all the Brahma's children, all the sages like Atri, Marichi, and Pulaha, Pulasya, all those get married and they expand the progeny further. So for that one, here Kadma Muni is praying that I wanted a suitable wife. So here Prabhupada is describing that the principles of animal life eating is this is a janmai, this is ahara nidra bhayamaitunam cha samanyam etad padu pasbihi naranam. They are common. Ahara nidra bhayamaitunam cha, they are eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Samanyam etad pasbihi naranam, they are common for the humans and animal beings as well. And what is the difference between them? Dharmo hi yesho Adhiko Vishesho. Dharma is the only which differentiate between animals and humans. Dharmo hi hena pasubihi samana. If there is dharma is lack in the human society, there are animal beings. Okay, so and then here, these are one has to follow the rules and regulations as per the Vedic injunctions. Otherwise, you will be entangled here just like an animal. And conditioned souls are under the spell of material energy or eternal time, past, present, and future. But as soon as one engages in Krishna consciousness, he transcends the limits of past and present and becomes situated in the eternal activities of the soul. Mam chayo abhicharena bhakti yogena sevate. So here, Sagunan Samtitechan Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate, he would cross the 3 modes of material nature. Brahma Sagunan Samatitechan Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate, he would attain that transcendental platform just by Mamchayo Abhichara Bhakti Yogena. This is Mamcha by rendering devotional service unto Krishna. Bhakti Yogena Sevate, one has to serve Krishna. One has to learn to serve Krishna. That is the beauty of it. And here further, one has to act in terms of Vedic injunctions in order to enjoy material life. But those who have taken to the devotional service of the Lord are not afraid of the regulations of this material world. Because Jnana Vairagyuktena Bhakti Yogena Bhakti Yogena Yoginaha Kshemaya Padhamulam me Pravishanti Akuto Bhayam. They have taken the shelter of lotus feet of the Lord, and they enter into the akuto bhayam. They do not worry about anything. They are not afraid of akuto bhayam. Such devotees do not care for the conventions of material activities. They boldly take to that shelter, which is like an umbrella against the sun of repeated birth and death. This is the Charanata Patram. Okay, so we are at 2040 now. So it's time for the mudras to come. We shall continue after that. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for the very nice class. So this evening, we have two young boys who are going to do the English recitation of the Damodarashtakam, and their names are dear Trishul and Thiran. So, Trishul and Thiran, are you ready to read the English translation, please?
Yeah.
Thank you. Go ahead when you're ready. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. To the Supreme Lord, whose form is the embodiment of eternal existence, knowledge, and bliss, whose shark-shaped earrings are swinging to and fro, who is beautifully shining in the divine realm of Gokula, who I, due to the offense of breaking the pot of yogurt that his mother was churning into butter, and then stealing the butter that was kept hanging from a swing, is quickly running from the wooden grinding mortar in fear of Mother Yashoda, who ran after him with greater speed. To the Supreme Lord Sri Damodara, I offer my humble obeisances. Seeing the whipping stick in his mother's hand, he is crying and rubbing his eyes again and again with his two lotus hands. His eyes are filled with fear, and the necklace of pearls around his neck, which is marked with 3 lines like a conch shell, is shaking because of his quick breathing due to crying. To this Supreme Lord, Sri Damodara, whose belly is bound not with ropes, but with his mother's pure love, I offer my humble obeisances. By such childhood pastimes as this, he is drowning the inhabitants of Gokula in pools of ecstasy, and is revealing to those devotees who are absorbed in knowledge of his supreme majesty and opulence that he is only conquered by devotees whose pure love is imbued with intimacy and is free from all conceptions of awe and reverence. With great love I again offer my obeisances to Lord Damodara, hundreds and hundreds of times. O Lord, although you are able to give all kinds of benedictions, I do not pray to you for the boon of impersonal liberation, nor the highest liberation of eternal life, nor Invacatua, Vaikunta, nor any other boon which may be obtained by simply executing the 9 processes of bhakti. O Lord, I simply wish that this form of yours as Bala Gopala in Vrindavana may ever be manifest in my heart, for what is the use to me of any other boon besides this? O Lord, your lotus face, which is encircled by locks of soft black hair, tinged with red, is kissed again and again by Mother Yashoda, and your lips are reddish like the bimba fruit. May this beautiful vision of your lotus face be ever manifest in my heart. Thousands and thousands of other benedictions are of no use to me. O Supreme Godhead, I offer my obeisances to you, O Damodara, O Ananta, O Vishnu, O Master, O my Lord. Be pleased upon me, showering your glance of mercy upon me. Deliver this poor arrogant fool who is ignorant fool who is immersed in an ocean of worldly sorrows and become visible to my eyes. O Lord Damodara, just as the 2 sons of Kuvera, Manigriva and Nalakuvara, who were delivered from the curse of Narada and made into great devotees by you in your form as a baby, tied with rope to a wooden grinding mortar. In the same way, please give to me your own Prema Bhakti. I only long for this and have no desire for any kind of liberation. O Lord Damodara, I first of all offer my obeisances to the brilliantly effulgent rope which binds your belly. I then offer my obeisances to your belly, which is the abode of the entire universe. I humbly bow down to your most beloved Srimati Radharani, and I offer all obeisances to you, the Supreme Lord who displays his unlimited pastimes.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
beautifully.
Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Very nice, very nice. Trishul and Thiran. May I mention that Trishul and Thiran are the nephews of Jai Mataji. So nicely recited. Thank you. So I'll be singing the Damodara Ashtakam. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Namami Swaram Sachitanandarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Yashodha Biyolukala Davamanam Param Rishtamatyanta Todrutya Gopya Rudantam Muhurnetra Yugmam Rajantam Karam Bhoja Yugmena Satan Kanetram Muhuspasakam Patri Reka Kakantha Stitha Graivam Damodaram Bhakti Iti Drikshpalilabir Anandakunde Svaghosham Nimajantam Akhyapayantam Tadeshitageshu Bhakterjitadvam Punah Prematastam Sattavriti Vande Varam Deva Moksham na Mokshavadim va na Chanyam Vrineham Pareshadapiha Idam Deva Purnatha Gopala Balam Sadha me manasya virastam kimane Idam te mukambojam atyantanile vritam kuntale snigdha raktascha gopya muhuschumbitam bimba raktadaram me manasya virastam alam lakshalabhe Namo Deva Damoda Prananta Vishnu Prasidha Prabodhuka Jalabdi Magnam Kripa Drishti Vrishtyati Dinambatanu Grihane Shamam Magnam Edhikshidishya Kuveratmajau bada murtaiva yadvat Tvaya mochitau bhakti bhajau kritau cha Tatha prema bhaktim swakame prayacha Namokshe graho mesti dhamodareha Namaste damne spuradipti damne Tvadiyodarayatha visvasya dhamne Namo radhikayai tvadiya priyayai Namo nantalilaya devatubhyayam Namami Swaram Sachit Anandarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Yashodha Biyolu Kala Davamanam Param Rishtamatyanta to drutya gopya. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Damodara, Radha Damodara, Radha Damodara, Sri Radhe. Jaya Yashoda Damodara, Yashoda Damodara, Yashoda Damodara, Sri Radhe. Jaya Radha Gokulananda, Radha Gokulananda, Radha Gokulananda Sri Radhe. Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman, Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman. Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gora Hari Bol.
Damodarashtakam ki jai.
Beautiful, wonderful. Thank you. Hare Krishna, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Prabhupada. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Very wonderful, Shiji Kishori Mataji and Trishul and Thiran. Okay, we shall be back to the Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, so we are in the halfway through. Just we shall conclude this one very quickly. There is one more shloka. So here, Srila Prabhupada is mentioning here, by drinking the nectar of Krishna Katha, one can cross the repeated birth and death. So it is like a umbrella for the repeated birth and death. So constant transmigration of the soul from one body to another body is the cause of suffering in material existence. So this conditional life, this in material existence is called samsara. So take birth and then coming outside of the material world, perform some kind of things, and then this is vyadha karma bihi. Divacha vyadha karma bihi. Agni-apta adhakarana nisyana nana manordha diya kyanabagni nidraha, even without sleeping. So they will engage in this material horrible works. So, and then one may perform good work and take his birth in a very material condition, but the process under which birth and death take place is like a terrible fire. It is very terrible fire. So since the beginning of the baby in the womb of the mother, he goes through so many difficulties. By the time he enters it, it's a difficult starts. He starts praying in the womb of mother. So mentioning so many of his troubles, Dehi anya dehevere jaragni nasrub, Vinmotra kopapito Bushetapta deha, Yichenito Busum Guranian Somasa, Nirvyasadi Kurbanadihi Bhagwan Kadhanu. So there in the womb of the mother, one of the prayer of this baby, he struggles from the womb of the mother. Dehi anya dehevere jatragni nasrug, Asrug is the hot blood. And in the Vinmotra Kupapito, this is a stool and urine. So the baby is fall in that puddle. So likewise, he is offering his prayer to the Lord. My dear Lord, I am here. One side hot blood is here. Dehi anya dehi vivare jatragni nasrug. Vinmotra Kupapatito brushatapta dehaha. It is torturing me a lot. And then he counts number of months. How many is the 7th month, 8th month, 9th month when I would go out. But again, when he thinks, And again he prays, Soham Vasannapi Vibho Bhodukavasam Garbhananjigamishe Bahirandhakupe Yatropayatum Upasarpati Deva Maya Mityamatri Yadunu Samsuti Chakrametad. So he says that, oh my dear Lord, I am struggling here, but still I do not want to go outside. See, such a terrible prayer of baby in the womb. Soham Vasannapi Vibho Bahudukavasam. In the womb there is so much of troubles. Garbha Nanijigamishe, I do not want to go out of the womb of my mother. Nanijigamishe Bahiranda Kupe, outside is the dark well of this material world. Yatropayatma Upasarpati Deva Maya, if I go out, this material Maya would catch me. Yatropayatam Upasarpati Deva Maya, it will catch me. Mithya material, no samsati chakrametar, it is mithya, it will put me into samsati again. Samsati chakram, it is cycle. So this is, it will keep continuing, this material, since the beginning of that, the baby struggles. So Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in his place says that Samsara Davanala Nalila Loka Tranaya Karunya Ghana Ghanatvam. Ghana Ghanatvam is the clouds. Unless they pour lots of mercy, then this kind of Dhavanala would not extinguish it. This is Praptasya Kalyana Gunanavasya Vande Guru Shri Charanaravindam. This is Guru Ashtakam. So that prayer here Prabhupada is bringing here. So with the mercy of the Guru only, one can cross this material science. So this is what all this one, downpour of water from the cloud, Ghana Ghanatvam. So that's why we have to keep speaking Krishna Katha again and again. Even though Krishna also in the Bhagavad Gita speaks, because the importance is stressed a number of times, but in different dimensions. Coming to the center point, Sarva Dharman Parityajyamam Ekam Saranam, that is the center point, but in different angles of the explanations, different dimensions. Problems, one way wanted to eat some food. It is sufficient for the time, but varieties he needs. But the problems will also come in varieties, different varieties. And Lord also gives in different dimensions how they can be conquered. So that, but stressing the same point. So here, constant downpour of the water from the cloud, we keep hearing Krishna Katha, Srimad Bhagavatam Bhagavata Sevaya. So the cloud pour is compared to the mercy of the spiritual master. By the grace of the spiritual master, the cloud of the mercy of the personality of Godhead is brought in, and then only when the rains of Krishna consciousness fall, can the fire of material existence be extinguished. By the bona fide spiritual masters, that succession, the mercy has to come down. Otherwise, if I wanted to go by myself, then you cannot go anywhere. So you would be stuck up as a standalone. You need to be connected to the spiritual bona fide. Evam parampara praptam imam rajashyo viduhu. This is evam parampara praptam. One, it has to be linked to the main chain, bona fide spiritual succession. Then we receive that extinguisher. Then this material existence will be extinguished. That solution. So this is also explained here. In order to find freedom from the stereotyped conditional life of material existence, one has to take shelter of the lotus feet of the. This is Charanata Patram, Atapatram, umbrella. So not in the manner in which the impersonalists indulge. They wanted to like one with the Lord. So like, but that is impersonalism. But devotees, they do not. Naikatmatami spruhyanti kechin yat matpada seva abhirata madiha. They do not want to become one with me. Kapil Bhagavan says. Matpada seva abhirata madiha. They wanted to engage in the devotional service of me. So here devotional service, but in devotional service. And chanting and hearing of the activities of the Lord. This is chanting, hearing, singing, dancing, and working for the Lord in very pleasing. Yo anyonyita bhagavataha prasajja sabhajayanti mama paurushani. Anyonyam, by cooperating each other. Serve the Lord. Anyonyam. Yo anyonyita bhagavataha prasajja sabhajayanti mama paurushani. Discussing the glories of the Lord. So only then one can be freed from the actions and reactions of the material existence. It is recommended here that one should give up the conditional life of the material world and the association of so-called civilized human beings who are simply following in a polished way the same stereotyped principles of eating, sleeping, defending, and mating. So something materialistic people think that why these people are always doing this chanting and Hare Krishna and all those things. They don't gain any material things, the house, gold or money, bank balances. But here, what is the bank balance actually? What is the real asset which can be carried? But they cannot see, because here spiritual assets cannot be seen in the bank balances or in the gold or in the land. They cannot be seen. They are very subtle. They do not see that real wealth. But actually their wealth is going to be melted very quickly. Yam yam madhumupadette dukhen sukha hetave. Tam tam dhunoti bhagwan puman sochit yat krute. Once they accumulate money by struggling very hard, dukhen sukha hetave. And then Lord will take out all this and then they will cry later on. But whereas the devotees assets, they are spiritual assets. They will never ever be deteriorated. They are permanent and eternal. That they cannot understand. So here, the chanting and hearing of the glories of the Lord is described here as Tad Gunavada Setu. Only by drinking the nectar of chanting and hearing the pastimes of the Lord can one forget the intoxication of material existence. Ko namaloke purushardasaravit pura katanam bhagvat kata sudham api ekannanjalipi bhavavaham aho virjeta vina naretaram. So now the statements by the Brahma's children, and they are glorifying Varahadev. They says that Ko namaloke purushartha sarvit pura katanam bhagvat kata sudham api kannanjalipi bhavapaham aho virjeta vina naretaram. Unless they are human beings, they do not take to the hearing of Krishna Katha. And by they do not clear this material existence at the end of this life. Okay, likewise, so one has to, this is Pura Katanam Bhagavad Kata Sudam, drinking the nectar of chanting and hearing the pastimes of the Lord. Okay, this is the Piyush Nidyapita Deha Dharma. That one, a Maitri Rishi is saying, Kadma Prajapati glorifying the Lord. And here next shloka is giving the importance, what is going to happen to those devotees who have surrendered to the Lord, and what about everyone else. It is very important. It describes about the time factor, the time wheel. So here, except the devotees, the lifespan of the devotees, everyone's life will be diminished by this wheel, time wheel. And also construction of the time wheel as well here. So Nati Ajra Aksha Brimiravuresham Trayodasharam Trisatam Sasti Parvam Shatnemi Anantachedi Yetrinabi Karala Sroto Jagadati Jadavan. Nate, it means not your Ajra. So because previously it was speaking about the devotees. So here Nati Ajra Aksha Brimiravuresham, except those. So here your wheel, which has 3 novels, it comes like Brahmir Ayuhu Yesham. Rotate Brahmi is the rotating, Ayuhu is span of life. Trayodasharam is a 300 and Trayodasharam is the 13, Aram is spokes, and Trishatam 300, and Sasti Parva 60 functions, Shatnemi and 6 rims, and Anantachedi innumerable leaves, and Yatrinabihi there are 3 names, and then Karala Sroto Jagad Arche. It is tremendous, with tremendous velocity, it is rotating on top of the universe. And then Karala Sroto Jagat Arche, it is shortening, cutting the short lifespan of everyone. Dhavat and running. So in such a way, this is the time wheel. It is except the devotees of the Lord, everyone's lifespan is taken by the time wheel. Nati Ajrakshi Primirayuresham Trayodasharam Trisatam Sasti Parva Shatnemi Anantachedi Yetrinabi Karala Sroto Jagad Achidhyadavat. Your wheel, which has 3 naves, rotates around the axis of the imperishable Brahman. It has 13 spokes, 360 joints, 6 rims, and numberless leaves carved upon it. Though its revolution cuts short the lifespan of the entire creation, This wheel of tremendous velocity cannot touch the lifespan of the devotees of the Lord. It cannot touch the devotees of the Lord because they are under Charanatha Patram, under the shelter of lotus feet of the Lord. What about the Lord? He does not even get no time influence on the Lord. And also, uh, uh, and also whoever taken shelter of the lotus feet, they do not also come under the influence of the time factor. Okay, so we shall see what Prabhupada is described in the purport. So, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The time factor cannot affect the span of life of the devotees. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is stated that a little execution of devotional service saves one from the greatest danger. The greatest danger is transmigration of the soul from one body to another, and only devotional service to the Lord can stop this process. It is stated in the Vedic literatures, Harim vina na mritim taranti. Harim vina na mritim taranti. Without taking shelter of Hari, there is no possibility of crossing this material world. So this is without mercy of the Lord, one cannot stop the cycle of birth and death. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is stated that only by understanding the transcendental nature of the Lord and his activities, his appearance and disappearance can one stop the cycle of birth and death, go back to Godhead. This one is Janma Karma Chime Divyam Yevam Yo Veti Tatpataha Tatva Deham Punah Janma Naiti Mam Veti. So Arjuna, oh my dear Arjuna, whoever understands my appearance, pastimes, and disappearance, and Tatpataha, they do not take birth again in this material world just by hearing Krishna Katha, knowing about Krishna. So here the time factor is divided into many functions of moments, hours, months, years, periods, and seasons. All these divisions in this verse are determined according to the astronomical calculations of the Vedic literature. This is a technical details, like we have got 12 months, but actually 13 months. So 13 month is the Purushottama Masa, Adhika Masa, or that one, along with that, totally 13 months. And then we have got, if you take the seasons, every 2 months is a one season. Okay, that comes from the Vedic injunctions. So, and also it calls it 3 joints. Every 4 months is a one chunk. And then we have what Chaturmas, likewise 3-4 months. Okay, so this is how it technically it has got details. There are 6 seasons called Rutus, and there is period of 4 months called Chaturmasya. 3 periods of 4 months complete 1 year. According to the Vedic astronomical calculations, there are 13 months. 13 month is called Adimasa or Malamasa and is added every 3rd year. The time factor, however, cannot touch the lifespan of the devotees. So this is a Ayur Harita Vaipumsam Uddhinnastam Chenasau Tasyadhyatchinonita Uttama Shloka Vartaya. Again, this one also Saunkadi says, they also says that Ayur Haritivai Pumsam Uddhinnastam Chenasau. By sunrise and sunset, it is decreasing the lifespan of everyone except the devotees. Tasyadhe Yatchunonita Uttama Shloka Vartaya. So in another verse, it is stated that when the sun rises and sets, it takes away life of all living. Okay, this is the shloka here. But it cannot take away the life of those who are engaged in the devotional service. So here time is compared here to a big wheel, which has 360 joints, 6 rings in the shape of seasons, and numberless leaves in the shape of moments. It rotates on the eternal existence, Brahman. This is the time wheel. Sometimes in a different context, some of the scholars, they will also represent Sudarsana also is kind of replacement based on circumstances. But here it is describing the time wheel, Kala Chakra. Kalosmi Lokakshaya Krud Pravruddho. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, I am the time factor. Here, the time. And also, Yachakturesa Savita Sakala Grahanam Raja Samasta Surumurti Rashesha Tejaha Yasyadhya Brahmati Samvruta Kala Chakro Govinda Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. This Kala Chakra rotates according to the instruction of Krishna. Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. That wheel has been described here. That does not touch the devotees of the Lord, and it will take the lifespan of everyone. It is rotating with very fast velocity. न ते अजरक्षितमिरायुरेशं त्रयोदशारं त्रिशतं षष्टिपर्व षट्नीमि अनन्तचर्ये त्रिणापि करालस्रोतो जगद आचिध्यतावत्. In such a way, Kadma Prajapati glorifying the Lord. So this is very beautiful shlokas, and these prayers are complete. And devotees, it is very nice if you can by heart this, and now you can also do some prayers at your home. Okay, this is 16, 17, and 18 shlokas. I stop here, and I also request dear devotees, if you have got any questions or you wanted to share anything, kindly ask questions or kindly share. So this is Kadama Prajapati meditating. Lord has appeared here. And then after that, Lord says that your wife is going to come here. That is Swayambhumanu's daughter. And then Kadama Prajapati get married to Devhuti. And then later on, he begot 9 daughters. They got married to all the sages. And then finally, Kadama Prajapati, he takes the permission from Kapil Bhagavan and leaves. So, of course, again, there are prayers to Kapil Bhagavan as well. It is a very beautiful conversations from here. Third canto, chapter 21 onwards, you would see in different dimensions until end of this third canto. Okay, so that I stop here. I request devotees, set time to devotees now. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Amogha Prabhu. Wonderful class as always. And I think Kardama Muni is just so wonderful. I mean, that's why this Srimad Bhagavatam is here for all the wonderful transcendental devotees. They come and show us the path, how to approach Krishna, how to go back to Krishna, and they are very special soul. I mean, Krishna. I understand previously that Krishna was really loved Kardama Muni because he's just they're very special. They're very special. So they come to set up the ideals for us to follow the devotional service and to completely surrender to Krishna and His will. So it's a wonderful class. Thank you so much.
Mataji. Any other questions, dear devotees? If no questions or no sharings, if there are no questions and no sharings, then we shall conclude our session. And we'll see you in the next session. It is so beautiful again and again. We could remember the chapter in Bhagavatam from here. It is so beautiful, Katha. Okay, so with that one, we shall conclude. So keeping Kadma Prajapati and as our lead example, how he has led the life. Okay, I shall conclude. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च
पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय Thank you Prabhuji, what a beautiful class. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Excellent class as always. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Brilliant class as always. Very nice.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Brilliant class.
Hare Krishna.